Hello, and welcome back to another installment of the AAFP's Family Medicine Practice Hacks. I'm your host, Dr. Jennifer Bacani McKinney. I own and manage a private practice where we are also a part of an accountable care organization, in addition to providing full-spectrum family medicine minus obstetrics. Telehealth has been a covered benefit for Medicare patients for several years, but it was limited to certain patients in specific locations. March 2020 changed all of that. In response to the COVID-19 public health emergency, Medicare removed the originating and geographic site restrictions, effectively opening access to telehealth to all patients. Nearly all of us implemented telehealth, often quite literally overnight. Telehealth gave patients a safe way to access their primary care physician. This was crucial during such unprecedented times that were filled with uncertainty and misinformation. Patients needed access to their trusted source for health information, their primary care physician. Many practices have reopened and are seeing patients in person. However, telehealth remains an important tool in our toolbox, and many of us continue to offer telehealth in some fashion. This practice hack provides tips to refine and optimize your telehealth program. One of the most important things for practices to do is to understand the telehealth preferences of both your patients and physicians. This is true regardless of whether you've already implemented telehealth, are shifting to a hybrid approach, or considering where to go next. Patient and physician preferences may change for a variety of reasons, so you may want to periodically reassess everyone's preferences. While telehealth was critical to serving patients during the pandemic, some physicians may prefer to return to 100% in-person care. My practice chose to transition to a hybrid approach. We schedule our telehealth visits just like any other clinic visit. Some practices dedicate certain days or blocks to telehealth, while others reserve telehealth for specific types of services, such as chronic care follow-ups or acute care. Think about what you are comfortable offering as a telehealth service. As you consider the future of your telehealth offerings, you will need to understand your patients' preferences as well. Assessing whether your patients want telehealth services is important to ensure you are offering services your patients will use. You could conduct a brief survey to gather patient feedback, or you could ask patients at their next visit. If the majority of your patients prefer to receive their care in person, telehealth services may not be necessary. Whichever way you go, you'll need to review the cost of a telehealth program to ensure it's sustainable. Another aspect of patient preference is the platform. We use a variety of platforms, depending on what the patient is comfortable using. Our staff ask patients which platform they want to use when the patient is scheduling their appointment. If the patient is unfamiliar with the platform or has not used technology, we have our front office staff call patients beforehand to walk through logging in and troubleshoot any issues. We occasionally still run into issues, but overall, we found this process has improved our ability to spend the visit focused on the patient rather than technology. Once you've decided what types of telehealth services you want to offer, you will need to let patients know what is available to them. Patients may be unsure if you are still providing telehealth services or when it's appropriate to use telehealth instead of coming in person. Our staff reminds patients that telehealth is available when a patient can't make it to the clinic or if they need to stay home for health reasons. We've also promoted it on social media. Educating patients about when and how to access telehealth services at your practice is key to making your program a success. Implementing telehealth happened so quickly that many of us did not have time to research and create a plan. There were times when we had to create workarounds or temporary workflows to accommodate the rapidly changing environment. Often a workaround or temporary workflow becomes the established way of doing things, regardless of whether it's the most effective or efficient process. As you transition to your telehealth services from reactive to proactive, take some time to review your processes. Discuss with your team what's working and what could be modified or improved. Identify ways to utilize your whole team more fully. For example, you could assign a medical assistant to a physician who is conducting a virtual-only clinic session. They can help get the patient checked in, as well as manage your inbox or knock out some other administrative tasks during their shift. While these tips may help you manage your telehealth program, we know payment plays a big role in determining whether to continue offering telehealth services. The AAFP is advocating with public and private payers and other stakeholders to fight for fair and adequate coverage and payment for telehealth services, including both audio-video and audio-only encounters. The AAFP believes telehealth is most appropriate when provided by a patient's primary care physician and supports policies that protect the longitudinal relationship between patients and their family physician. I hope you found the tips and resources in this hack helpful. Be on the lookout for additional telehealth information and resources from the AAFP. Until next time, do good things and find joy in the things you do.